Hello, I'm David Para. You're watching GBC World News, a broadcast from Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining us. In world news, Kenya's refugee camps struggle to cope as a wave of malnourished children and drought-affected Somalis flow into the country. GBC World News brings you this report.
This is the face of the growing drought and famine crisis across the Horn of Africa. Malnourished children like these have been pouring into refugee camps in Kenya from neighbouring Somalia. Thousands are arriving daily, trekking across arid landscapes and crossing a porous border to arrive here in search of help. Hospital facilities are struggling to cope with the influx.
The staffing is less as opposed to the numbers that are coming, because like you can see in the ward now, the ward is full to capacity and is a ward that is supposed to have maybe maximum of 15 patients, but like now we have 23 patients.
Like many Somali refugees, this grandmother of a malnourished boy has lost many of her loved ones to famine or violence.
I'm not going back because I've nothing there. My sons were killed and the only one remaining is the father of my grandchild. When I get money, I'll send it to him so that he can come and join me here. When I left my son, his health was not good. If I get money from my relatives and neighbors here, I'll send it to him so that he can come. I hope the international community can come to our aid.
The situation is severe right across the Horn of Africa, with food shortages affecting Somalia, northern Kenya, Djibouti and Ethiopia. Almost 135 Somalis have fled since January, and the number continues to rise. Simon Hanna, Reuters.
Australian police have responded to a call from a woman in Sydney's upscale Muslim suburb involving a bomb on Wednesday afternoon.
A gripping 10-hour bomb scare in one of Sydney's most exclusive neighborhoods has come to an end with no casualties. It all began when a man broke into a home in Mosman and strapped what is believed to be a bomb to the neck of an 18-year-old woman living in the house. New South Wales Assistant Police Commissioner Mark Murdoch.
Moments ago, we have secured the release of the young lady. She is safe and sound. She's being reunited with her parents as we speak. Our investigation of the crime scene, examination of our crime scene will now commence in earnest.
The motive for the suspected bomb? Extortion, according to police. They are describing it as a highly sophisticated device. So sophisticated that authorities had to consult with several Australian agencies and even the British military before they could free the woman. Deborah Gimbera, Reuters.
Rebels and pro-Gaddafi forces clash on the front lines in Zlatan as the wounded are taken to Misrata. We now bring you that story.
At least 8 Libyan rebels were killed and another 76 wounded Tuesday as fighting continues against pro-Gaddafi forces. Rebels on the front lines in Zlatan fired rocket-propelled grenades and heavy-caliber weaponry. Rebel morale would be boosted if they captured Zlatan, which sits just west of Misrata, putting them that much closer to Tripoli. Those killed or wounded in Tuesday's assault were taken to a hospital. At least 8 people were receiving treatment in the intensive care unit. It's not clear whether rebels were able to absorb the government assault on Tuesday or if they were forced to retreat. Julie Noche, Reuters.
Tanks in Hama continue the government assault on the city, taking the attack into the 3rd day of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. GBC brings you that report.
Gunfire and explosions ring out across the Syrian city of Hama on Wednesday as the government assault continues into the 3rd day of Ramadan. Tanks have been deployed near El Bahra roundabout, and residents say they also occupied the central Orontes Square after heavy shelling of the city. That square has seen some of the largest demonstrations against President Bashar al-Assad's rule during the 5-month uprising calling for political freedoms. Human rights campaigners say the assault across Syria has claimed the lives of around 137 in the last 3 days, including 93 in Hama. The plight of Hama, where thousands were killed in 1982 when security forces crushed an anti-government uprising, has prompted many Syrians to stage solidarity marches since the start of Ramadan. But Assad's tough response suggests he has no intention to heed the call for democratic change. Nick Rowlands, Reuters.
Up next, the top U.S. military officer calls for a swift end to violence in Syria. Don't go away. That story and more when we return.